And Donnie, let's be clear. It's not just that these young voters might turn out to vote for Trump. More likely, they just stay home and don't vote at all. And that would be deeply problematic for this president as he runs for re-election. And we should note, I mean, people hate it. Democrats hate talking about Joe Biden's age. Democrats can't stop talking about Joe Biden's age. And that is a part of this. He turns 81 today. So you weigh in on the enthusiasm issues he has among young voters. And frankly, some of them just look at him and say, he doesn't understand us. He doesn't connect with us. He's too old.
First of all, you got to walk into the age thing. He did it a couple of weeks ago. He had some fun with it and turn age into experience and turn age into fitness. The one thing that I would focus on if I was the Biden campaign is a very primal thing that's going to happen to voters when they walk in. Biden is safe. Trump is unsafe. He's unsafe if you're a woman because you're going to lose your right to choose. And we all know how powerful abortion is. He's unsafe on the world stage. You get generals start talking about. Go to the primal thing that, yes, Joe Biden, one thing you can feel safe, America, is with Joe Biden. Donald Trump is dangerous to you. He's unsafe. He's unfit. And I would start to use the word fitness versus unfit. Fitness is a little bit of a metaphor. You can't say that he's young, but you could say that Biden is fit and the other guy is unfit, and draw that contrast, but make it about danger and safety. Biden will never be sexy. He's not going to be sexy at 81. Biden was not sexy at 62, but he is safe and he is fit, and the other side is not.
Ashley Parker, you have new reporting for The Post on how the Biden campaign is working to ease Democratic anxiety over re-election chances. There's some therapy being offered, or Democrats. What are they doing?
Well, they realize they have a problem in the sense of, at least as we've just discussed, perception. And their belief is a lot of what Joe was just echoing, which is polls a year out don't mean anything. Wait until a couple of weeks, a couple of months before Election Day. Wait until there's a clear contrast between, for instance, Joe Biden and likely Donald Trump. But in that intervening time, there's a couple of months where there are likely going to be more polls potentially like this, and where you are going to have, as we reported, Democrats and not just voters, or rather not just donors, not just operatives, not just D.C. Democrats, but also voters who are very worried about Biden's age and if it means he's lost a step against a matchup with Donald Trump. So what they are doing is, on the one hand, they're sort of rolling their eyes and staying the course and not changing their internal strategy. But they are now taking steps to reassure this wide swath of Democrats that, yes, everything will be okay. And that ranges from they've started doing more contrasts with Trump because, as Biden himself says, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. That's who they expect the alternative to be. And even privately, the Biden campaign flew out to Chicago, where Obama alumni, several thousand, had a big alumni weekend a couple weeks ago. And they did a private presentation that outlined the strategy, tried to reassure these Democrats that everything is okay, and also acknowledge pretty clearly this will be hard. And they end that presentation that they've made a number of times by saying, look, 45,000 votes, had they gone a different way across 3 or 4 key states, Donald Trump still would be president. So you're right. This will be hard. This is a fight. But here's our strategy, and we believe we've got this.
Ashley, how much disquiet is there in the Biden campaign about the effect that the Middle East policy is having on younger Democratic voters? And whether that, it's a year out, people's memories are famously short, particularly in this information age, and whether that will still be could still be a factor come next November.
Well, you look at the recent NBC poll, and they are aware, as Senator McCaskill was saying, that these various voting blocs, voters of color, and then especially young people who you're really seeing fissures when it comes to what's happening in the Israel-Gaza war. They're aware that this is real, but they also, again, they say this is a year out. And we're taking steps to show why President Biden is making the decisions he's making. And more importantly, they say, why would they believe President Biden is still, disquiet and concerns aside, better than former President Trump on just about, they say, all of these issues.
The Washington Post's Ashley Parker, thank you so much for your reporting this morning.